After all the crazy things that's going on in free agency that just happened, and we basically shuffled the deck and got a whole new hand as far as all these players teaming up with each other, we see the theme of the dynamic duo.
Yep.
Whereas before it would be the big three, and that was kind of what was going on, and that was a big trend. Now we kind of see the dynamic duos going on, and I think it's going to be interesting this year. I think the league is wide open.
And, I think the best new dynamic duo on the basketball scene right now, right here.
There you go.
Right here.
There you have it.
All right, so let's talk about, not in any specific order, but, being that a long time ago I played guard. I love guard play. Let's talk about Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum over in Portland with the Blazers. What do you think about that dynamic duo?
Yeah, I think they've shown and proved that they're one of the top backcourts in the league season after season. I mean, they're two prolific scorers. Both can get to the rim, shoot it, create space, create for themselves and others. And I think their supporting cast just got way better. They just picked up Hassan Whiteside, who's going to, play well for them. They've got Yusuf Nurkic, who will probably be back towards the end of the season.
Right.
Who was definitely a huge post presence, a guy who could create for himself in the block.
Definitely,
wasn't a great defender in the pick and roll.
He was scoring a post.
Yeah, he could score. He was a
score.
bucket. He was definitely a solid option for them. They picked up Kent Bazemore.
Yes,
that's a great pickup.
He's like jack of all trades. And the best part about him, he doesn't need the ball,
right?
But he's efficient. Whatever he can get, he actually gets.
Yeah, and they were able to hold on to Rodney Hood,
right?
So I think those guys are going to be tough to beat in the West. What do you think?
No, I like the Blazers. You can never bet against Dame. He's proven that. I think they're definitely one of the top dynamic duos, especially since they've been doing it for multiple seasons already. So there's that chemistry already. The supporting cast, like you mentioned, everybody basically adjusts to what those two do. And it's obviously winning. They have a good formula going on over there. I like them a lot.
I could say, we could argue that Dame is responsible for the rebuild going on over at OKC. You might be able to argue that with that shot. Later. Sent Paul George packing, Westbrook packing.
Yep.
All those guys are out of there. Jeremy Grant is gone.
Right. That's a total rebuild over there.
Complete rebuild. I think
the Dame effect.
Right.
But as good as they are, I love them. But there's another pair of guards in the Western Conference. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Klay's hurt, obviously. We can mention D'Lo real quick, but that doesn't really count. The dynamic duo there is definitely Steph and Klay. It's hard to say that they may not be the top duo. They have the rings. Obviously their supporting cast played a big part in that. Draymond's always going to be there. Then you have Looney there who did well. All these little players. But it's always about those two.
Right.
Some say the greatest shooting backcourt of all time. I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that.
It's hard to argue. But where do you see them this year, especially with Klay being injured?
I think they're going to struggle this year, especially with Klay being out, because now you're probably going to have D'Lo starting in the backcourt with Steph, and you're going to have to hide both of them defensively.
Right.
So I think a Portland Trailblazers might be able to pick them apart, especially before Klay gets back. You got two scorers in your backcourt. I think Golden State will definitely struggle. Obviously they have a ton of offensive firepower, and they're still going to be able to shoot with the best of them. Right. You don't miss that big of a step offensively. Well, I don't want to say that, but the point that I'm trying to make is that D'Lo can shoot the ball just as well.
No, he can, and he can pass, but like you said, the defense, that's where the difference is going to be.
Right.
Granted, anyone that gets by them will have to meet the newly acquired Willie Cauley-Stein.
Who was a great pickup for them.
Yeah, great pickup. I can't believe that they got him. But anyway, yeah, so that's to be determined, that duo.
And now you don't have Andre Iguodala coming off the bench to save your butt when you do need a defender.
Or Sean Livingston,
right,
who's not a great defender, but he was
solid, yeah.
Solid player. So that's to be determined as far as that goes. But I'll tell you this much: if the Warriors are playing and they're playing well enough to, contend for a spot, like any spot, and Clay comes back during the playoffs,
it's gonna be scary.
Forget about it.
It's gonna be scary still. Yeah.
It's like, and it's not like Clay is gonna need a whole bunch of time to adjust his game. His game, he doesn't dribble.
Yeah, he's catch and shoot.
Catch and shoot.
Let it fly. He's coming off screens.
Maybe one dribble, you do a sidestep, but it's not going to take long for him to
Do you think he'll be the same defender though that he is?
No, see, that's the problem. Because with his injury, I mean, you really have to trust yourself to go all out
defensively. Yeah.
So, but offensively though,
it's going to be the same juggernaut. Yeah, absolutely.
So, so let's talk about the next duo: Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic over in Denver.
Nah, I mean, they've already proven what they can do. They had the best record in the league this past season, and I think that they might go under the radar as far as the rest of these duos go, but they do have a great supporting cast. They got a bunch of guys over there that can play. I mean, you got Will Barton, who's an offensive threat, Gary Harris. You got all those guys over there that can really hoop.
Right. Paul Millsap,
who's a great glue guy as well.
Right, and they just got Jeremy Grant.
Forget about it,
man. They're gonna be nice. They're gonna be nice.
I love Jeremy Grant. He's a high energy guy.
Yeah.
He can shoot the ball well now. Yeah. That's something that he really added to his game.
Yeah.
And he will throw it on you. He will throw it on you. Do not jump. Don't.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's like you think about that dynamic duo, and we talked about guards before. I mean, you can't sleep on Gary Harris either. So, that backcourt of Gary Harris and Jamal Murray,
that's a fact.
Pretty nice too.
They're both sneaky athletic as well.
Yes.
Don't get caught under that rim.
Right. Exactly. Who's not sneaky athletic? Jokic.
Yeah. He can't jump over a phone book.
No, he can't. I don't know what he can do other than dominate a game. He can literally dominate a game.
Right.
And I don't know. It looks like he moves at half speed sometimes, but the way he's able to just outlet pass or interior pass, from the high post and in the block, it's crazy.
And the way he's able to use his body and be effective in that frame is just amazing to me.
I mean, imagine if he lost weight. He might actually be able to get a 4-inch vertical. Not Zion levels.
What's that, 2 or more inches than yours?
Hey, why you say 2 inches? Because I'm Asian?
Oh, man.
All right, so let's move on to the Dallas Mavericks. You have Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis.
Tough.
Oh my God!
Tough.
They're
gonna shoot the lights out over there.
It could be crazy in Dallas.
And they got Little Curry over there. They got Seth, who's gonna shoot the lights out as well.
Come on, man. Does he count? He was in Las Vegas Summer League MVP, right? It doesn't matter.
Chill. Don't do that to him.
But yeah, no. I mean, they have a scorer in Tim Hardaway Jr., Seth Curry, like you said. They got Boban now.
Yeah. He's a solid pickup for them as well.
Another tall guy, but Kristaps and Luka, I mean, that's ridiculous because they complement each other so well.
And I think JJ Barea he's super scrappy,
right? And
his basketball IQ is through the roof. So I think they'll definitely be a team that's gonna give people some trouble this season coming up as well.
Right. So it's that European connection though. I think it's gonna frustrate a lot of people, a lot of teams that have to play against them. But I think it's mostly going to frustrate New York Knicks fans. Because Kristaps, I'm serious, he's going to do well. Yes, he was injured. And, whenever I talk to Knicks fans, not to bash on the Knicks,
that's all you do is bash on the Knicks.
I do. I admit it. But every Knicks fan that I talk to, oh, no, they have to get rid of him because, he raped somebody. It's wait a second. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We still don't know. And, now there's some proof where it was just a blackmail thing.
Right.
Look, I'm always like, yeah, I'm gonna think the woman is right. But with like celebrities like Kristaps Porzingis, who basically has been like an angel, especially like living in New York and not having any scandals, maybe you have to second guess it. You know?
Right.
Now this is a totally different conversation, and we're gonna get in some heat here because of me. But
Definitely.
but I think let's see where it goes. Maybe he is a jerk, to that degree. Because he could just be a normal jerk, When you have money and you're talent, people kissing your butt all your life, you can become a jerk. But let's see what happens. But if it turns out like that was just like a whatever case and it's false, Kristaps Porzingis is not going to have that burden on him anymore. He's going to be like, oh my God, like, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Now I'm going to
focus
ball
on basketball. Yeah.
Now I'm going to ball. I'm going to kill people. I'm going to kill the Knicks whenever I play them. Every time I score a 3, I'm going to point up at James Dolan. And I'm not pointing up with my, finger like this. And, I'm not pointing that finger. I'm pointing another finger, you can guess. So Kristaps and Luka hasn't even like scratched the surface yet, I think, of his potential. So it's gonna be nuts. Mark Cuban's going to go crazy, and he's gonna look forward to peeing in another trophy. No, he didn't pee in the trophy. He held it. He held it. Did you see that picture?
No,
he went to the bathroom holding a urinal, holding the trophy. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So who do you think is another dynamic duo? Who do you have up next?
Oh man, there's a ton of them. I definitely like Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Those guys are going to be tough to beat over in the Eastern Conference. They're 2 all-stars, 2 perennial all-stars, might I add. Especially if Ben Simmons even shoots the basketball.
Can't be scared.
Yeah, even if he doesn't make them, if he shoots them, they'll be a better team.
Right.
Like, I think they got a lot of great supporting guys over there. They lost some guys too. They lost J.J. Redick,
Jimmy Butler,
which are 2 huge pieces, but they definitely got some guys back, and Al Horford, I think is gonna bring them to the next level. And I look for Tobias Harris to have a great season this year. He just got that great contract, and I feel like he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's ready to earn that. He's ready to earn that bread. He's gonna shoot the lights out this season. So
that's gonna be tough, and I'll tell you why. Because the dynamic duo of Philly is Embiid and Simmons. But guess who makes the most money? Tobias Harris.
Sheesh.
He makes more money than both of them.
No, didn't Embiid just get? Didn't Ben Simmons just get that extension?
It's still $10 million less.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
$10 million less than Tobias Harris. So Tobias, if you're listening, if you're watching, I'll be praying for you every single night.
Nah, I think he'll be good.
No, I think he's gonna be good. But you said and you mentioned, dynamic duo is Embiid and Simmons, but they're not getting paid like that. Tobias is, and Tobias right now is number 3.
Right.
So
he's gonna have high expectations from the staff over there. Yeah.
Not the fans. And let's be real, Philly fans, they're known as being a-holes. Big time a-holes. Someone gets injured, they're clapping.
Oh,
it's like
man.
they're throwing snowballs. I'm like, Philly fans are no joke. So Tobias represents Strong Island well, please.
Yeah, please.
I want to see you come back next summer.
Make us look good.
But yeah, no, that's a good dynamic duo because you have that. I would like to say inside out there, but you don't because Ben Simmons doesn't shoot. But you have like that speed game. You have that big that can do everything. He can face up, attack the hoop. He can lead a fast break.
He can pick and pop. He can pick and roll. He can create for himself in the post. Yeah, Embiid is a threat, and he's a solid shot blocker as well.
Oh, he's a great defensive player. Talking about like lateral quickness before, he has it.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons, the only thing that's stopping him is a jump shot, a consistent jump shot.
And he still averaged, I think it was like
18 or something.
Yeah,
something crazy, all on transition and just like posting up. He has that jump shot. The Sixers are winning like the chip for the next few years.
It's gonna be scary.
It's definitely gonna be scary. But someone who's already scary, Giannis and Chris Middleton in Milwaukee. What do you think about those two?
I think it's already tough to guard Giannis by himself. Like, he's such a tough cover. The whole team has to key in on him and really flood the paint in order for him to even struggle. And then you got Chris Middleton spacing the floor. Forget about it. Those guys, top team in the East. I think they'll still be the top team in the East.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the top team.
I think so. Well, no, I'll take that back because we did talk about the Sixers.
Right.
I think the Sixers will be.
But they'll definitely be one of the top teams in the East, especially considering that Kevin Durant won't be back right away.
Right.
So I think they'll definitely be one of the top teams to beat. I look for them to have a good playoff run again as well.
No, they should. They just ran into a Kawhi Leonard that was just rolling. I mean, there was no stopping him. Like anyone got in his way, he was like, stepping on top of you and doing that Kawhi laugh. You know what I'm saying? But Giannis with Middleton, they have outside shooting. They just got Wesley Matthews.
Right, that's a great pickup for them as well.
Brook Lopez, probably right now the best shooting big man in the NBA.
Yeah.
They got his brother, for the
Robin,
rebounders
yeah.
and being scrappy. Pat Connaughton, I thought he did really well. He's someone that always gets overlooked,
Of course, we can't leave out E. Bledsoe.
Oh man, Eric Bledsoe, yeah, he
Tough.
is. Oh my God, like
Tough.
I always think about when I played, I was that big. No, he's crazy big.
Yeah.
He's just like forget it. Like
Big guard.
he will bully you.
And he's still quick and explosive
Yeah.
and all of that stuff.
Yeah, no, I remember when he was playing with the Clippers and just doing great, but he was behind CP3. I was like, yo, if this guy ever goes to another team, he's gonna average 20 and 7 assists or whatever. And those are basically the numbers that he puts up.
Right.
He's an amazing player. Another amazing player, James Harden. Another amazing player, Russell Westbrook. How about that dynamic duo? Like, honestly, if there's any duo that we've talked about or will talk about that are like actual superheroes, it's going to be Harden, the way he glides like he's flying, and Russell Westbrook, who
looks like he's jumping off a trampoline.
But not even that. He just wants to punch it in so hard. It's like Hulk smash.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact.
So those two are real superheroes. What do you think they're gonna do?
I think it's gonna be tough for them to figure out that chemistry, despite what they're saying. I know I saw a clip the other day of James Harden saying how they grew up together and that they're gonna be able to make it work. I think they will be able to make it work. I'm not sure how quickly though.
That's gonna be the thing. It's even though they played with each other in OKC, it was obviously different.
Way different.
Because now both of them, their confidence levels through the roof.
You got 2 MVPs.
Yeah, and it's just they're competitive. They're going to compete against each other. They're going to make each other better. As good as that can be, though, that could also be a detriment because Harden might score a 3 and Westbrook's like, yeah, watch this. He won't shoot a 3 because he's not that good. But watch me dunk the ball. It's going to be like that, I think.
And I feel that, in my opinion, I think Harden should have the ball at the end of the game.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But how's Russell Westbrook going to feel about that?
Russell Westbrook, what he should do is, whether it's going to the Rockets and telling them to go to OKC or go to OKC directly, ask for tapes of him at the end of games. And then that's all you need to do. It's like he has no fear. Definitely no fear. But at the end of games, maybe he should be scared a little bit. Because, I've seen so many bricks, like I shot it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's
a brick, all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's it's like you're building houses in your community, but you're not doing it the right way. So he should just look at the tapes and look what James Harden has done. Granted, yes, he hasn't gotten far in the playoffs, all this other stuff. But he's a way better scorer. He's more efficient. I have more trust in James Harden than Russell Westbrook at the end of the game.
I do agree with you. However, I do think James Harden is actually better off the ball than Westbrook is as well. And at the end of games, if Harden is the one who has the ball in his hands, that's one less option to kick to if you're driving to the rim, with Westbrook not being a huge 3-point threat. How do you feel about that?
obviously that makes a lot of sense. But then I think about they could always kick it out to like an Eric Gordon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even a Gerald Green.
PJ Tucker.
Right. So I'm not too worried about that. I think you have to have the ball in the hands of the guy that's has the best percentage to do the most with it. And usually it's scoring. So I would rather have James Harden do it. And we all know he can pass.
Right.
So it's not like, he's always going to take it. Westbrook, I know he loves to pass, but at the end of the game, he wants to be the superhero. I don't think he's going to pass the ball. He's going to shoot from wherever he is.
Right.
Because that's what happens when you're such a freak like he is. You'll think like, oh, damn, I can just jump over this guy for the three. And he can. But his shooting form isn't there, because he jumps so high. Sometimes I think he's like shooting down.
Yeah.
So I would rather have the ball in Harden's hands.
Yeah. I think it'll be tough for Westbrook to really adjust right away because, especially with the amount of dribbling that James Harden does, as great as he is,
right,
he pounds the air out of the ball. Sometimes it's bad to watch. As much people as he's sat down on the floor and shake them out of their shoes. Every possession for a guy like Westbrook. He's gonna be super frustrated, and I think he's going to face some of the same challenges that Chris Paul faced.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be worse because, as much as Chris Paul can score, he doesn't always look to score.
Right.
That's going to be the difference. But, it's like these two know that if there's any season for them to get a title, it's this one.
It's now.
Because, there's more parity. Like KD's off Golden State, DeMarcus Cousins off Golden State, and Klay Thompson's hurt. Andre Iguodala's it's not the same Warriors, and that's a team that everyone looks at as the threat. They're not as much of a threat anymore. So if they're going to do it, it has to be now. So, they're both older. I know they want to win titles, so they're going to concede to each other, whatever. It's like I think Russell Westbrook will be okay with all the dribbling, but I also think Harden may not dribble as much,
True.
So, I think they're going to be good. Another duo I think that's going to be good, that's new. Your man LeBron James and Anthony Davis with the LA Lakers.
Yeah. Nah, man, I think they're going to be super fun to watch. We get LeBron back. I think he's going to have a huge chip on his shoulder after being hurt most of last season. I think people kind of forget, what he's brought to the game and what he's done and just who he is overall. And I think he's going to be refreshed and ready to go. And he's going to be able to lead those guys, and Anthony Davis, hopefully he can stay healthy and he'll be a post presence as well. He can go out to the perimeter. He can do it all. So I think those guys will definitely be tough to stop. And, they have a great supporting cast as well. They were able to grab Danny Green for a 2-year, $30 million. Avery Bradley, who's kind of similar, a 3-and-D guy. They were able to hold on to Rondo. We still got Kuz, KCP, and all these guys, all these pieces. And I think
Boogie.
Yeah. And that's like a veteran team.
Yeah, no, it is.
There's not a lot of young guys on that team, so I think they're looking to win right now as well, too.
And and what's funny is a lot of those guys, not all together, but there are peers where they've played with each other before.
Right.
So you may not have to worry about chemistry as much. Like a real example would be like Quinn Cook and JaVale McGee. They played on the Warriors together, right? Even LeBron and Danny Green, I think they played on the Cavs together. AD and Boogie obviously played with the Pel. So, yeah, they're going to have to work on the chemistry, but some of those players in pieces and parts have already played with each other.
It's not like a pickup game at the park.
Right. It's not like AAU where you see some kid like, yo, can I play with you? Like, let me see. Oh, okay, yeah, you can play with us. So it's not going to be like that. But let's talk about the other LA team. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. That's a great duo. Dynamic duo because both of them are like one of the top two-way players. Both of them can score. Both of them play defense. They play on the perimeter. They attack. Kawhi has that post-up move where like he dribbles to the elbow and shoots. It always seems to make it. They're gonna be nice. They're gonna be nice. What do you think? Do you think that'd be better than LeBron and AD? That's a dumb question. I'm asking a Lakers fan, a LeBron guy.
Nah, I mean, I don't think the duo will be better than LeBron and AD, but I do think that they do have a slightly better supporting cast.
Right. LA Lockdown.
LA
Remember
Lockdown.
That.
You got Pat Bev, who's gonna give it his all. He's so scrappy and tough. I think he's gonna be a great piece for them. They got Montrezl Harrell, who's gonna run the floor and play hard, rebound for you, roll hard to the rim off the ball screen. And I look for him to be a defensive presence as well.
Definitely.
You
think about Lou Will.
Yeah, Lou Will, who's gonna get you bucket. Yo, his contract is horrible
for him. Yes, he deserves way more money. Yeah.
Oh my!
What a value!
Like $8 million?
Yes,
bro.
Crazy.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nah, I was watching him on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. Shout out to those guys over at No Chill Gil, and they were saying, how if he was a starter, he'd be a max contract guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's borderline max. He's not a max contract guy, but he's right up.
He's
there.
pretty damn close.
He's right up there.
$8 million?
Yeah.
Bro.
Like, he got like 2 girlfriends, right?
Yeah, like he got bills to pay.
Yeah, buy some stuff.
Nah, but I think he's gonna be huge for them.
Definitely.
I also look for Landry Shamet to come in and shoot the ball pretty well.
Yeah, no, he looked good in the summer league.
Yeah.
But he's a good player just overall. And to finish off the segment, the last duo, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, not happening this year.